some of when we watch and when Ben watch you, I mean, you play a character from time to time, right? And that exists inside of you, and it's not fake, but it is an aspect of your personality that is shown that is at times, and I don't mean this insultingly, like not as compassionate, just, you know, more bop you over the head. But I'm not surprised to find that that you hold both inside of you, I guess.
Yeah, for me, I think that contemptuous anger and like sympathy are two sides of the same coin. Because when I'm really angry at a person I'm arguing with, when I'm really denouncing them, it's usually because I'm disappointed in them. Mm-hmm. It's usually, now this isn't the case with like Ben Shapiro or Trump or some huge public figure, but if I'm arguing with a person directly, usually my anger stems from this feeling of like, why are you the way you are? Why do you suck so bad? What's wrong with you? And if I can move them past that point, if I can reach out to them, if we find a point we agree on, that feels amazing. It feels like breaking through a veil, you know, to like embrace them. After all the anger and antagonism, it's like, okay, you've paid your penance. I've yelled at you, but if we can agree on a point here, this has a constructive end. And that feels infinitely better than an argument where I just scream at them and hang up because they're frustrating, you know?
I have a question, and this might, I guess this is kind of personal. I watched your Politics 101. You talk about how values, and I very much agree, are the foundation of policy. Like, why talk policy if we can't get on the same page with the direction we're heading? My pet theory is that values, and I don't think this is a crazy claim, are they're forged by your childhood, by the way you grow up, by your relationship with your parents, and the relationship with authority in your life can often be a stand-in for how you feel about the government later in life. It's not a one-to-one Freudian thing, but when I look at myself, I see my relationship to authority has shifted as my understanding of my relationship with my dad has shifted. Like, I was a motherfucking pain in the ass arguer, stand-opposed. And when I was in my young 20s, dude, I was at the rallies. Fuck the man. You know, we got to take this guy down. And as I've seen
fuck my dad. I mean the government.
Fuck my dad. And what I've seen in myself is as I have grown and not even externally, internally sort of repaired my relationship with him, and it's had external components as well, I've seen value in things in the world that are traditional or conservative. I'm not 100% conservative, but I do feel I'm more of a healthy balance where I'm not outright rejecting the status quo because they don't get to tell me what to do. And I'm curious for you if you see any of that in yourself, because you don't wind up being an eloquent online arguer out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't just pop out of nowhere. So I'm curious.
You don't need to butter my biscuit.
Where does that come from?
My family is almost comically good.
Yeah.
I mean, my immediate family. I don't talk that much with my extended family, who I think are mostly Republicans, but whatever the case may be, my immediate family was just like such a great upbringing. It's almost boring to talk about. All my friends, everyone I know, they have some problem with their family. Like one family member left, or like their one family member was a cunt, or they never got along with their brother or whatever. I have two parents. I have a younger brother, and they were pretty fantastic. And they're liberal. They're not socialist, but they're liberal leaning. And I think in terms of like how that affected me formatively, I think the big one was, as you said, public speaking, because my mom liked music, and my dad had his own company, like a little side project where he would give these big speeches to his friends and stuff about, the details are boring, but he really liked public speaking. And I took that from him because to me, that was like the apex of masculinity.
Yeah.
When I was young, like that was the thing that I aspired. It wasn't like the big muscles or whatever, though I did want to have big muscles. Don't get me wrong. Still do. But the being able to speak publicly, and so many people talk about how hard and scary it is, but every time I did it, it just excited me. I never got scared. It felt like I was like a different type of person than everybody else. Now, of course, I realized what that actually was that I'm autistic, and that my special fixation, the thing that I got autistically fixated on, was public speaking. So, you know, Freudian, whatever, there's always an underlying explanation, but I got really, really into it, and I would take every possible opportunity. I'd always be the one to present the project, growing up and up. And when I got to college, I actually got worse at it. When I got to university, because I moved away from my parents, I took community college in Santa Monica, SCCC, and lived with my folks at the time. I moved up to Humboldt in California. I'm away from my folks, and I don't talk publicly as much. I get worse and worse at it. I felt really bad about that too, because like that was my big skill, you know? It turns out that being around, the right people can be a big inspiration in that respect. But eventually I got over that, got better, graduated. And 6 months after I graduated, I decided to try doing stuff on YouTube, and now I'm here.
Wow.
And I got better at it. And, it's a matter of practice and all. But I think like I do agree with what you say about values being formed early on, because now I have this massive respect just for people who like sharing things they care about with an audience. The ability to convey like appreciation, that's something I respect a lot. I think it's very enviable. I think the world is much more interesting when people are open about the things they like.
I like that. There's a couple questions that I had as you sort of talked about your upbringing. One is my own ridiculous. Do you do psychedelics? So I'll pop that in here. Have you ever done any psilocybin, anything like that?
I can't actually, believe it or not, it'd kill me.
No kidding.
I take lithium carbonate for bipolar disorder, and kidding. It has a lethal reaction with psilocybin. Oh, wow. So
good to know. Well, I'm glad I didn't convince you. I was like, you gotta try it, man.
No, I had a doctor tell me that once, and I'm really, really glad he did, because he actually told me that after I tried psilocybin. It turns out the first time I tried it, it was like a dud batch or something like that, which I guess saved my life. Because I didn't feel nothing from it. And I don't know. But yeah, there you go. So be careful with that, I guess.
Jesus. Well, what I was going to say, and there's other ways to get there, is that as someone who is interested in the foundations of things, the values and how they get, for me, that has been one of the most interesting paths to pursue, because, you've got your axiom, what is it? What matters? And I'm not saying do psilocybin, but if there is another way, that was the most interesting way at the last 5 or 10 years that I've been able to learn about my own axioms. And it's just taught me how biographical so many of them were. Like I wouldn't have listed all this, daddy shit to you 6 years ago, but
well, it's important. Because we're,
Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.